Hi, welcome into my channel. My name is Cynthia. Thank you for being here. I decided to go all out and celebrate spring. I know these are a little bit decadent for spring. Spring's usually a little bit more of a pastel color palette, but these hot pink roses were the healthiest looking roses at the market, and also I love the color. So I decided to go with those. And I'm just really kind of in the last few days embracing Venus in retrograde for the work that you can do internally and to just understand what it may or may not bring into your life, especially if you decide to work actively with the energy. So I brought these pearls out here. I meant to grab my abalone shell too, but I forgot to grab that. That's okay. I just want to thank you for being here. Thank you for liking and subscribing to my channel. Thanks for the comments that you may have made. I do a playlist on here called Surprise Specifics, which is a reading with someone who makes a comment in mind. I try not to identify them totally, but to try to find a way to let them know privately or either in a reply to their comment, even if it's back in the distant past, that I chose them to do a surprise specific for. The idea being that I upload it to the channel. It's not necessarily a private reading that I send out, but I keep thinking lately, like, I don't know, I don't know. I'm not going to try to make it so they're readily identifiable who the person is, but I like the idea and the concept, and I like celebrating commenters that way especially, and to give them a thank you and a shout out, even if it's just between them and I. Anyways, I don't know why I went off on that tangent, but that's a surprise. That's a playlist on here called Surprise Specifics if you're interested in checking those out. My intention is also that even though they're specifically for someone and they'll have a lot of specificity for them, that they'll still resonate for people who just watch my readings, right? So today I did 4 different shorts for the elemental signs for Venus in retrograde, and I'm just going to expand on Venus in retrograde here in this layout, this more comprehensive layout, and I'm probably going to pull some tiles as well. And hopefully I have a metal roof. Hopefully the rain doesn't get too loud in here. It's really rainy today where I live. But usually it doesn't seem to, even if it rains really hard, I can still speak and be heard in my videos for the most part. So I think what I'll do is just start with tarot and ask and expand on it from there. What is something that's going to be important for us to know during this Venus in retrograde? Maybe circumstances that are important and need our attention, or ways to work with it that would ultimately be to our benefit. Also, what do we need to know? What do we need to be aware of? What do we need to be aware of during this Venus retrograde? I think it ends in mid-April. We're also in a Mercury retrograde, so that's some intense energy, right? I'm curious to hear how it's going to impact this spread. We also have an eclipse coming up, a solar eclipse coming up at the end of this month, I think on the 29th. So lots of change in the air. I'm embracing it. I'm ready for a change. I've been through like a 10-year cycle of intensity in my life that is coming to like a really intense close, an ultimate close, where I don't know if you resonate with this, but a lot of cutting of family ties that I never thought would happen that is happening. And not with my entire family, but with a lot of people that I never ever would have thought that I would have cut ties with, right? So that might be in play for some. Oh, and that's another thing. I had a memory come up that I had an intuitive hit, like you're supposed to tell the story. It's a very short little story, but it's about my brother who at one point when he was living with us, rest in peace, Scott, Joseph Scott Vogel. At one point when he was living with me and my dad out in my hometown of Washougal, he was really sick one day, like just the sickest I've ever seen him. And we used to see him deal with kind of being sick. He was a heroin addict, right? So he was, for most of his adult life, he was on CODA, we used to call it, which was the only clinic back then that did methadone. But he was so sick. I remember coming out of my room, I was probably like 13, and I was like, what's wrong? You've been really like I can hear you, right? He was just like throwing up and really groaning a lot. And he was like, I was siphoning some gas and I accidentally swallowed it. So, I mean, he was a little bit of a criminal, my brother was. So I think he was stealing gas and he accidentally puked. While he was doing it, he swallowed on accident. I can't believe he didn't even go to the hospital. He might have gone to the hospital, but he said it was just instant. As soon as he swallowed it, it was coming back up. And then it was like a good probably 32 hours before he felt back to normal. But for some reason, that story came into my mind when I was on my walk this morning, and it might have resonance for someone. You might know someone like that, or you might have a funny story in your own life about siphoning gas. I don't know. Anyways, though, I just wanted to share that. Maybe it was his instant karma for trying to steal that gas, right? I don't know. But it also strikes me as like reversal, retrograde energy. There's something about siphoning that kind of embraces that. And then also swallowing and then purging again. So there might be something to that direct shift in flow of energy that has to do with this double retrograde. Because first he was siphoning out, then he swallowed, then it came back up. So there might be something about that. That just kind of came to mind just now. I don't know. It's kind of a graphic way for spirit to want me to illustrate it. But that's what it can feel like. It can feel, with these intense retrogrades, like you're purging a lot of energy, saying goodbye to a lot, experiencing karma, right? Good or bad. Although I think I mix up my terms sometimes with karma and dharma, but, whatever. Karma is the common term that most people know. What do we need to know? Maybe I'll post a picture of him later. I've been thinking about posting a picture of my grandparents too, just to honor them and their memories. I miss them. What do we need to know during this Venus in retrograde? Oh, and I had another dream that was significant too. I hope I don't forget. I'll tell that later on into the reading if there's an intersectioning point or at the end. Wow, this is a big... we have 3 majors right out of the gate and the 10 of Wands. So this is a final point for you, like it is for me. You're gonna resonate, or we resonate. We're on the same wavelength, basically, is what I'm trying to get at. We've got the Hanged One, the Empress, and the Lovers. So it strikes me as something positive, but also something that's not small. This energy is not playing small. It's having a big impact in your world. And a walking away with this 8 of Cups here. It's got you feeling vulnerable. All this walking away you're having to do, I very much relate to that. I'm not doubting it. I know it's what I need to do, but it's intense. Comes with some fear too, right? Because it's mostly been my whole life, connected with my family to varying degrees. Oh, and a beautiful, where the energy is headed is towards the sun. So we've got you, and the cornerstone position here is the 10 of Wands. So this process of purging and releasing has been very exhausting. That must be why that memory came up about my brother. He was totally exhausted by the time that whole process was over, but it was a big lesson learned. I wonder if he ever even siphoned gas again after that, right? Like he might not have. And I'm not trying to make light of it. I mean, stealing gas, now you can't even really siphon people's gas anymore because of all the lockdown ways people's gas tanks are, you can't just get into them and take their gas, right? But regardless, this has been a very exhausting process. You're on the home stretch, kind of like what I just said about my own situation, but it's not for the weak-hearted. It's not for the weak-minded. This kind of purge and cleanse and release and shift into a new paradigm and a new world is very intense. With this Empress energy here, it's about learning to receive. That's what I think is coming through for you, which makes sense with Venus being sort of a divine goddess, a feminine energy, also known as Aphrodite, right? The goddess of love and beauty. Oh, emerging from the ocean and the foamy waves. Pearls are a big symbol, right? So this might be learning to how to receive and not have to push and work so hard in your own life. I really, again, resonate with that. I'm somebody that's had to, even though I was fortunate, my dad had money. He set me up with a stable foundation financially. So that's something that I don't take lightly. I know what a privilege that is. I've still had to learn how to receive because my dad was also a workaholic and he taught me to be a workaholic. So, and American culture is very workaholic based, right? Like work, even if we don't want to, even if we know better and want more time off, it's still a culture that really is obsessed with the fire element and work, produce, be productive, capital, right? And so this is a radical shift for you into like, no more of that. It's time for me to receive. And it's got you in a hanged one energy of suspension and maybe being forced to your knees to a certain degree, or forced into this position of having to learn how to receive rather than be the one that's taking the initiative all the time. It's not been an easy process for you. You've made the choice to do it though with this Lovers, and it could even mean in a love relationship. And again, I resonate with that. Like, I'm no longer going to be the one that does all of the work to go after someone, make my feelings known, take the emotional risks to confess my heart, right? Like all of that stuff. Like, and some of that was self-protective, right? Codependency like that, or feeling like everything's all up to you, is an imbalance. And I had to go through years of unlearning that, right? And so this is a choice that I'm making and that you may be making as well, to not do that anymore, to say, you know what, now it's time to be on my throne. It's my time to be in a chariot, enthroned in a chariot of my own, where I'm receiving. I'm not doing the work. Aphrodite was not Artemis, right? Aphrodite was a very receptive goddess, okay? A very, I've seen people liken this to Oshun as well, of the Orisha of beauty, right? And so anyways, there's that. Love may be in play here in this regard, that you've made a choice that it's time for me to receive. I'm no longer going to choose people or relationships or scenarios where I have to push so hard. I'm in my receptive, soft era, right? I'm in this era. It's not been comfortable for you though. It's been a very difficult lesson to learn. The changes that you've had to make have been painful, and it's showing here with this Eight of Cups. You know that it's right, and Eight of Cups is a wise recognition of your heart that it's right for me though. Even though it's hard and it's been painful and I've had to say some really painful goodbyes, I know that this is what's right. Boom, very center of it is Queen of Cups, okay? It's you are really coming into a maturity of your divine feminine receptive energy. Another out of balance feminine energy that wants to receive is to be overly nurturing, right? To be, when really she should be learning to receive herself. She's wants nurturing, so she gives overly nurturing, and that's where codependency can come in. And again, that was very much me in the past. I want a helper, and I have the healer archetype within me. And so I then was drawn to relationships that needed healing where it was out of balance, right? Where I was like trying to be a healer in the equation, or help the other person heal to my own detriment. Not that two people can't help each other heal, but it needs to be in balance, right? And that's the Queen of Cups vulnerability. But you've recognized that and said, I'm not doing that. And it's really echoed here with this Two of Pentacles. You've made a choice. We've got the 2-2 here with the Lovers and the the Lovers and the Two of Pentacles. You've made a very wise choice to close that chapter and to walk away from it. But it's taken everything you've had. It's been very difficult, especially if there's another person or people in play that you love deeply. Again, to just keep using myself as an example a little bit, like the people that I've had to say goodbye to are people, it's not that I didn't love them. I do love them. But at some point, they're not good for me anymore. These relationships are not good for me. And as sad and as hard as it's been to face that, and at points I resisted and I didn't want to face that, I wanted to do things like scramble to try to beg my sister to be in my life, and finally realizing, no, she made her choice. Now you can make your choice to walk away. You don't have to carry malice. You don't have to carry bitterness. That's been a hard one because I was hurt. I am angry. I don't understand her decisions. I'm not going to get into what they are. That's for her to be on her own path about. But it's been difficult, right? It's been difficult. Let's see what the conscious and shadow aspect of self have to say about this. So your shadow is having a little bit of difficulty with allowing you to be in receptive energy. We've got 2 queens here plus an empress. This is very divine feminine, Venus in retrograde energy. Your shadow aspect of self is struggling a little bit with being receptive, like a Queen of Pentacles is. A Queen of Pentacles generates her own harvest and is very regal and watching it all come to her, right? Like she's not out there plowing the fields. That's more of like the Knight of Pentacles role. The Queen of Pentacles is very fertile, very receptive, very earth-based, and it may be a little bit out of your comfort zone to be more grounded, right? If you're very watery as a person, you might need this grounding, but your shadow has had trouble with it and resisted it a little bit, wanted or felt more familiar in the water aspect of self for you. But you also know in your conscious mind that that is an illusion. With the 7 of Cups here, you know that in your wiser part of self, you don't want to get trapped up in the illusions of the heart that can take you down codependent roads where you're being too nurturing, too overgiving, smothering, codependent, clingy. It can also look like that, like clingy. Okay, so it's something that you've really committed to. Whether it's a choice that you've made through this Venus retrograde consciously, or whether the Venus retrograde sparked it in you and you're just riding the wave, right? As they say. Either one, it doesn't really matter. Where it's taking you is to this incredible sun energy, this beautiful, joyful, happiest card in the deck, happiest time in your life is coming for you. You're about to receive all kinds of blessings for the willingness to do and take this hard road, go on this hard walk, right? Of the 10 of Wands, where you're like, am I ever going to get there? I see my destination on the horizon, but I'm going to maybe be crawling as I arrive because I'm so tired. It's been so hard. I've cried so many tears. I've walked away from so many things, right? And when I keep emphasizing the feminine here, I'm also picking up on this is resonating with a lot of people identifying as masculine because it's about energy poles. There are masculine people who overgive and overcare for and overprotect and overnurture, right? Without recognizing, I mean, they get taught those same kinds of lessons just like women do, depending on their own family of origin or cultural upbringing, right? So I'm really feeling strongly that this is going to resonate with a lot of people who identify as masculine as well. It's not just about, oh, divine feminine, Queen of Cups at the center, Queen of Pentacles, this is for a woman, right? It's gender is not so much in play as much as it is energy, okay? Tell me a little bit more about this Sun card. I want to know. I want to know what love is. I want you to show me. What is it? What is the Sun card here? I want to feel what love is. What is this Sun card? It strikes me as possibly romantic love, or at least a new sort of family feeling, right? A joy where your inner child feels safe and in balance and protected by you. Amazing. King of Swords. This is this wise part of you. This King of Swords came up in one of the shorts I did for, I can't remember which one. It might have been the air signs, right? King of Swords is an air sign. It's in one of the shorts I did for Venus in retrograde. But regardless, it's a very wise, discerning king, right? You've achieved a level of wisdom, and because you've been willing to go within and do this hard work of walking away, you're achieving this level of wisdom, and it's going to be so joyful. You have no idea how happy you're going to be. I just heard you're going to be so happy. This is going to bring you so much joy. It's going to be worth it all. There may have been points, especially with this 8 of Cups and the vulnerability position, that you're like, fuck, am I just going to end up alone? Is all of this just going to be for nothing? That I will have worked and worked and worked and work myself into this place where I'm just alone. Well, no, the energy coming towards you is not the Hermit. It's the Sun, right? It's not following just your own light forever. It's stepping into the sunlight, the beautiful healing rays of the sun, where your inner children can celebrate and feel safe and joyful, right? Where you're so happy and wise too, not just happy, but smart, discerning, right? Royal, safe, empowered, enthroned, again, like this Empress is enthroned, receiving everything that they deserve. Really exciting. The world, fucking A, you cannot get much better than this. I'm telling you, this Venus in retrograde is going to open up an entirely new world for you of happiness, of abundance, of beauty. You're going to have a ton of options, and you've got the wisdom to understand which ones are the best for you. It's really, really exciting. The Tower, it's going to bring a lot of change. So hold on to your butts, my friend used to say. Hang on. It's going to be a wild ride at points. It's going to feel like, fuck, you know, like, how is this all? Other people may not like it. This walking away may be bringing a complete tower to your old world, like where nothing is going to be the same. A tower and a world and a sun is very, very positive. But again, it is not for the weak-minded or weak-hearted. But you've earned this power. You are in a King of Swords energy and an Empress energy. You've earned it. It's also a love, okay? It's love of an incredibly beautiful kind that you have chosen because you've been willing to do this fearless work on yourself. It's really, really incredible energy. I feel it like surging through my body almost, how powerful it is. This is really positive, really. Judgment. I mean, this is wild. So we have Judgment, the Tower, the Sun, the World, the Empress, the Lovers, and the Hanged One. This is, you cannot get this. These cards are like yelling it out. What an incredible change is coming for you. And it could be multiple changes, right, with the Seven of Cups, but all for this really joyful and happy. You're not going to be able to believe it almost. It's going to be like a complete reordering of your entire life. And it might look like a complete relocation into a community of entirely new people just about, or the people that have had the courage to do the kind of work like you in your current life that are going to still be a part of your life, right? There's been so much walking away for you, a lot to grieve, a lot to let go of, a lot to face about your water element and about mistakes you've made with trusting the wrong people with your heart, or with giving too much, or with being too clingy yourself, right? Or not, just being out of alignment. By being willing to go into this Hanged One energy and stop it all until you get the clarity of who you need to walk away from, you're almost there. It's really, I mean, you can see it. My sense is that you see the sun that you're moving towards. You know what it is. It's just that you're exhausted. And so everything is crashing behind you. It's almost like what I just hit on is that you're stepping onto another timeline. And that's why this tower, right? The tower of the old timeline is collapsing behind you as you walk. Like, I see you like doing on a astral walk, like on an astral plane almost, as you align with more of your 5D self. I'm sorry, it's a lot of channeled imagery and energy coming through here. And it probably looked, not to be gross or graphic again, but it probably started out feeling like when my brother accidentally swallowed that gas. It was really, really intense for him. And he might have wondered, am I going to die? Like, am I going to make it? That's this Ten of Wands energy. Like, what if I die before I make it to the finish line? No, you're not going to die. You're not going to end up alone. And I sense that you know that, but you've had many like touch and go points along this camino, okay? It's been very difficult. It's been a very difficult journey. But now here comes your reward. This is no joke. Your reward is all of this. It's a judgment day to the old way. It's a tower to the old timeline as you step into this new world like a King of Swords, where you have everything you want, everything you ever dreamed in love. I mean, it's really amazing. I know I keep kind of going off here, but I just really want to celebrate. Like, Linda likes tarot. She has this gong that she uses, and when something really major is coming through, she'll bang a gong, right? And I like T-Rex used to say, And I wish I had a gong to hit right now like her. I'll just channel her for a minute and say, you know, get it on, bang a gong, get it on. Right? It's exciting. This is very, very, very exciting. I'm burning this Palo Santo to clear out the old timeline. And fuck the haters. Fuck anyone that's not happy for you. Straight up. Anyone that doesn't like this, anyone that's jealous can fuck off, right? They can go deal with their own, cry their own salty tears and face their own Venus in retrograde journey. It's not for you to worry about. It's for you to be with and find people that celebrate with you and that are happy about these changes and that maybe are going to be along for the ride in a good way, right? Not hangers on, not trying to take, not trying to manipulate you, right? This is what you're leaving behind. Fuck the haters. Fuck people that have shit to say about it. Okay, this is so good. Who gives a fuck about those people? You have no reason to apologize or feel bad. There might be some sorrow because you know that, you know, they're not going to be with you, and they may be, like I was just talking about at one point, some of these people I never thought I would be saying goodbye to, and it doesn't mean it's necessarily forever. Anything can change at any time, but for now, at this point in my life, it is. It's like goodbye, enjoy whatever your karma is, because it doesn't concern me anymore. I've done my best to be a good person in these lives. It didn't always serve me. I've learned my lessons. I don't need to be angry. I'm not a victim. I learned my lessons and I chose healing. I didn't choose to turn away from healing, just like you. You have chosen the difficult path of healing. It may have been years. It often is if you have a lot of karma or if you have a lot of trauma and grief, right? So I'm channeling a lot of this. Like, do not let anyone drag you down or make you feel guilty or ashamed from stepping into this new world. You've earned it by all this work. A hanged one energy is not for pussies, okay? I'm just going to say it. It's very challenging to go through this. And the people around you that may have not, that chosen not to stay in karmic energy, that's their decision, right? You don't owe them. So I really want to, wish I had a megaphone to blast that out, because this kind of success attracts hate. It attracts haters and envy and people that want to pull you down. And it's really important that you don't give any time to that. What else here? What else? Let's pull from this horror oracle here that we've been enjoying. What else? What are some entertainment archetypes, right? And messages from the horror oracle that can be helpful to know in this equation. I might try to do a live reading tonight. I'm kind of feeling it. I don't know, because I did a lot of, getting this set up to make it look beautiful. So maybe I'll kind of leave it and then schedule a live for later tonight, just for kicks, because I'm not doing anything. Today's a day off, so I decided to get really dressed up. I used my really good Rose de Grace lotion. That's one thing I'll manifest right now, is that there's a perfuming course in Provence in France that I want to do, and it's not going to happen this spring. It's too late. I don't have the money this spring, but next year maybe. I want to speak that into existence. This rose cream perfume that I'm wearing is from those roses, and it smells heavenly, and I put it on when I want to really celebrate my feminine beauty and my divine feminine goddess within, my Aphrodite, my inner Aphrodite, right? What's something else for us to know? Something else for us to know about this. We've got fate in the reverse, suspicion in the reverse, and earth in the upright. So this looks like it's from Nosferatu, the really old, like 20s and 30s vampire movie. Suspicion, what is this movie? I'm not sure I've seen it. And fate, I don't know about this one either. I would say Christine because it's got a car on it, but it doesn't look like Christine. It looks like another movie that I don't know. So let's see what they have to say here. Fate in the Reverse. It Follows is the name of this movie. I've never seen that movie. Whatever helps it get close to you. The actions of others can set things in motion towards you unstoppably, so that your only agency is in how you handle the situation. Man, we were just talking about that. There is no way to avoid it, no opting out. It's coming for you, whether you like it or not. You see this with a disturbing focus, even if those around you cannot. What can you do? What will be, will be. Yeah, fuck any hate that comes your way, because what will be for you is amazing things. And sometimes that kind of success can make you feel a little bit guilty. So this is your message. What will be, will be. You don't need to feel guilty, okay? You don't need to feel guilty for going towards a success like this. But sometimes you can feel that way. But not everyone can come with you. It just is what it is, right? You're not going to be able to bring everyone. And that's why this walking away has you feeling a little bit vulnerable. The next one is Suspicion in the Reverse. Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Oh my God. I think Donald Sutherland's in that movie. Don't be trapped by old concepts. Well, you're not. I mean, there's no way. This change is coming. This is like huge energy that you're walking towards. It's like gods and goddesses, angels and demons type shit, okay? It's really powerful. There are times when it can feel like everything, those around us, even society at large, is changing at a disorienting pace. A cosmic disorder introduced to the way we thought life would always be, with everything we're just saying. Holding on to our individual perspective can be exhausting, and the temptation to give in can be overwhelming. Is this the new way of thinking really? Is this new way of thinking really so bad just for being new? It's not. It's not. Sleep on it. It may seem less complicated in the morning. So you're still in that hanged one energy. It's okay that you're still in the process of making some of the decisions that are ultimately going to carry you towards the sun. But have no fear, right? And it's okay to, I mean, it's natural to feel uneasy, especially when we're talking about this level of radical change. Of course it's scary, even when you know it's good. Even when you sense that it's going to bring you everything you dreamed of, it's still the unknown, right? And then finally, Earth. Earth, Earth, Earth in the upright. Here begins the land of phantoms. Staying connected to where we come from can offer feelings of safety and comfort when we wander. A tangible element we can carry with us can be nourishing and bring with it a centered sense of self as we strike out into unfamiliar environments. Keeping home close to the heart insulates us from hostile energies, especially when we are subject to being cast in a harsh light. Remember where you came from. So that's really good energy too, especially Earth, because Earth is so grounding. And so with this Queen of Pentacles here, that Earth element, Pentacles energy, Two of Pentacles here in your strength position can be what helps you stay grounded. So it strikes me, it was kind of coming through a little while ago about like what happens to these men when they get like so big and so famous that they just go off the deep end. And like, I'm going to tread out on a limb here and talk about Kanye for a second, or Ye, you know, I call him Kanye still. But, I mean, he's way off the deep end, right? Like he's talking crazy shit, like trash. Like it's just, you know, wearing a swastika and shit like that is fucked up, right? And he's been going down that path for a long time. Same with Diddy, like, being treated like a god might fuck with men's heads and women. It's not just gendered, right? But to the point that but what I want to point out is that there's also somebody like David Bowie who's considered practically a god on the left, right? Rest in peace, David Bowie. I'm not trying to talk trash about him, because he repented at some point for that road that he was starting to go down in the 70s. And Kanye is not the first artist to do this, okay? I'm not justifying what he's doing by any means. I don't agree. I'm heartbroken because I love Kanye West. I do. But he's been on this trail for so long that it's like, who can support him anymore? I can't. I still want to listen to him though, so I have that challenge. But, you know, and even now 50 Cent's getting dragged into it and kind of having their back. It's like, what is he doing? I just don't get it. Like, why what is so hard about it's hard. I guess it's a hard tightrope to walk, especially once you're famous. And I know there's concern that Kanye West has mental illness on board. But to get back to David Bowie, he went through a very similar thing. He was wearing a swastika armband. He adopted this whole persona that I think was called like the tall white one or something. It was very pro-fascist. And he later goes on to say, like, it was at the darkest time of his life when he was doing all kinds of cocaine in this really horrible place. And he made his way out of that. And he then denounced it as he got out and got clean and moved out of LA and got back to where his own kind of roots in the European continent maybe or something, I don't know, whatever. He got grounded again and then was able to say, that was a really bleak time in my life and I am not a fascist and I don't know what the fuck, I was way off the deep end in coke and paranoia and misery. I was horrible. I almost killed myself, right? So he denounced that period, but he went through a period like that. And he is considered godlike in the eyes of leftist music lovers, okay? So Kanye can redeem himself, right? And Kanye's not the first person. Like, sometimes I get uncomfortable about how much he's being vilified because of someone like David Bowie. But also I need to then remember, yeah, but he's doing fuck shit, like shit that's really horrible. And, you know, so whatever, that came out for some reason. I've been thinking about that a lot lately and it just came out here. So keep your feet on the ground as you blast into this new era of like joy and abundance beyond what you might be expecting as well with this Queen of Pentacles, Empress energy. Like you might be launched into something so amazing that it's really going to be essential that you stay grounded so that you don't get in that kind of mindset or that like, I am a golden god where he jumps off the roof into the pool, right? Like, we're not gods. We can embody the archetypes of gods within us, but we can't lose our humanity for other people, right? That are not in the position that you're about to step into. So that's great advice. I'll just pull a couple of my own cards and then I think I might read some tiles too. What are some final messages for us? This is an amazing layout. This is a reason to celebrate. I'm excited. I can feel it. Like, I feel it coming. Maybe I'll go listen to that song, right? That's a great song from Starboy. Celebrate good times. Come on. There's a party going on right here. A celebration to last throughout the year. So bring your good times and your laughter too. We're gonna celebrate your party with you. Come on now. So yeah, anyone who can't celebrate with you, they gotta go. They have to go. Final messages. Accept, embrace, and love your heartbreak, love your pain. It's okay to feel the sadness of the walking away that you're having to do. It's part of the transition. You're still in this Hanged One energy, so it's okay. Not everyone can come with you, and that's a sad thing. It is a sad thing when you rise out of a station into something new, into a new timeline. That's why the Tower. It's not easy. It's not an easy journey. Impregnation, abundance, and fertility, but you're right on your way to that with this Empress card. That's what's coming. Even as you say goodbye to this old way and it collapses behind you, you're stepping into impregnance, abundance, and fertility. The plant kingdom should be included in addressing this issue. So whatever that is for you, maybe you need to smoke some cannabis. Maybe you need to burn some herbs to cleanse out your space and cleanse away your sorrow. Or take and ingest some herbs. Maybe you need to go out and get some tree medicine, right? Anima Animus, you're in the work right now, in this Hanged One status, alchemizing your inner processes, your shadow, any traumatic memories, any sorrowful relationships. You're processing it all right now, and it's about to just blow wide open like spring in the Northern Hemisphere. Everything is about to bloom for you. It's really beautiful. Because it said the plant kingdom should be addressed too, maybe I'll pull a plant card here before I end. Maybe I'll do tiles later tonight. This reading's already kind of getting long. I can feel it. could always do just a small handful and see if any names come out or anything. What might be some plants that are helpful as you close these final chapters out and say goodbye to the old? Evening primrose and skullcap. Those are both highly soothing plants. Skullcap is a nervine, and skullcap can ease withdrawal. A lot of people take skullcap when they're quitting a habit, like smoking or even opioids, right? I'm going to read skullcap first. Evening primrose came up in another reading, and that's a very feminine moon, water-based, water element, moon. It blooms at night. It opens, the flowers open in the light of the moon, right? It's a very feminine plant. And skullcap, which I'm going to read first. Skullcap is very soothing to the nervous system. It's a nervine. It can soothe your sad heart right now, possibly. Let's see what it says. The Swarm Wrangler. Skullcap speaks to the beehive. Skullcap knows the honeybee dance and the language of nectar. Skullcap can hear the soft whisper in the roaring hum of the comb protectors. Skullcap knows how to sing this honeyed language into your ear. Skullcap is a translator between human and non-human, between fire and water, between animate and inanimate. Skullcap is the fragrance you cannot detect but drives you forward in the quietest parts of yourself. Skullcap speaks to the language of our nervous system, talking deeply as to an old friend, guiding us with the care and knowledge into more calm and available states. Forest dweller and water lover, Skullcap reminds us to find quiet and quench the thirst of what we yearn to do. Don't be fooled by the delicate nature of this plant's appearance. This gorgeous ally is mighty in their impact. There is almost never a time when skullcap would not be a valuable aid. Amen to that. I grow skullcap here. With their presence coursing through the net of our nerves, we settle into the body and mind, restore our energy from the drain of stress and overwork, and relate more calmly and evenly to others. Finding skullcap in the wild is a time to kneel down and speak softly, to find all the wells of gratitude within yourself and pour them forth. Invite this generous guide into your life, and I have goosebumps. And never forget to say thank you. Skullcap is a great friend to humans, helping us find the inner reserve to be content. If you are struggling to find a place in yourself that knows what it feels like to sit in simple joy, in peacefulness, in the true expression of safety and happiness, invite skullcap into your life over and over again. Oh, I love it. I feel so good to read that. It's so beautiful. And then evening primrose. Night bloomer. Lubricating, sweet, neutralizing, and cooling, evening primrose primes the way. A moon being and night walker, they are soothing and nourishing, allowing our tissues to relax, emptying them of tension and rigidity. Boy, we're going to need it after all this suspended hanged one energy. If you're bound up in yourself, irritated, frustrated, coiled, and tired of cycling thoughts, let evening primrose in like the moon through the window, gently lighting your sleepy face. Evening primrose is nurturing to both those that have given birth and those that have suffered in their early years on this earth. Evening primrose unwinds long-held wounds, those that are deep and soft, quietly and in the dark. As an ally to young life, evening primrose holds those early on experiences. If you have felt abandoned, rejected, or feel yourself telling the story that soon you will be, reach out. Evening primrose is like a soft hand to hold. Reach out. If there is a voice telling you it will never be safe, and you find yourself pulling away from commitment, bonding, or soul connection, evening primrose can remind you that this is not the only voice in the room. There are forms of love that are safe. Wrap this blanket of moonlight around you and shadows all, and know that you can be secure, loved, and you will not always be left. Author your story and let your heart open into the waters of mutual and reciprocal love. This is right where you're headed. Evening primrose is for those times when we are most impressionable. Like an impact on water that has ripples far and wide, evening primrose can assure you in soft whispers, you are wanted, you are safe. Wow, I just have a ton of chills. Really, it's like serious goosebumps. I'll just save the tiles for next time. I feel like this has gone on quite a while, this reading. So I'm sending you love out there into the ether, and I'll see you in the next one.